third time's a charm. This is my third time trying to start this live, and if it does, but anyway, welcome to my live. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this on the replay. If that's when you're seeing this, and if you are, you know, someone who's looking to level up their lifestyle to, be a little more fashionable, to be a little more confident, then I'm talking today the fact that it is sometimes it's not necessarily that you are not stylish or that I get that as a lot of women say, well, I'm just not stylish. I've never been into fashion. And I don't think you have to be too much into fashion to be able to put together outfits, because the one thing that has to happen every single day is that you're going to have to put on something to leave the house. And what it is you put on, that's the choice that you, right? But you're not going to be able to get away with not having clothes, not being able to push forward and put something on every day. So if that's the case, if you still have to show up every day, regardless if it's something that you're into or not, why not make it be something that actually makes you feel good about yourself? I'm not saying that you need to be, mixing patterns, prints, coming in with the most couture outfits and all of that. But being able to know what looks good on you, know what does not, not fall into the trap of buying things because it's trending, and not understanding how you can rock it in your own wear, and not overspending because you figure I'm just going to go to the that's what's coming home at me. And I think a lot of people end up buying things that's just not for them. They're buying the wrong stuff. And so when it gets home, they have no idea how to use it, how to put it together, or how to run ways. And for that reason, it ends up being something that stays in the closet, not to be seen or worn for years until it's thrown away or given to Goodwill. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like, why do we think we end up in that situation where we're buying things that's the wrong stuff, and how do we identify that? So I'm going to give a couple of practical tips for you to so that if you're watching this and you feel that maybe you're someone who probably has been buying the wrong things for their closet, for their body type, for the season they are in, then we could fix that in just like that. So I'm talking to my ladies in their 40s and 50s, who that's my prime audience, right? Like I'm 45. And so my audience of women like me, who busy career women who have other things going on in their lives and want to still show up looking like they have it all together. And so the first thing I would say is that don't buy things that make you feel uncomfortable with your body. Like it's a no-brainer, but not. Okay? To, no matter what the trend is, no matter who else is wearing it, no matter who else has been able to rock it, if you yourself will feel uncomfortable with it, it does not matter. And I'll give you a practical example. I don't like showing a lot of cleavage, and I have beautiful boobs. I know I do. But I personally do not like showing a lot of cleavage. So I toe the line with blouses, dresses, tops, anything that's going to have me with too much cleavage. Now, I'm not saying that showing it is a bad thing. And for women who rock it and show it off, and they go for you, that if they're amazing. But since I'm not confident in it, buying pieces that if everything else is like amazing except it shows too much cleavage, that's not going to make me comfortable. And when I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to show up confident. So if you know there are parts of your body that you don't like I'm not here to tell you get over it. I'm here to tell you let's work with it. There are so many pieces that I can wear, or camouflage the fact that it's a lot of cleavage. And one of the things I do a lot, is I will wear a camisole under to give myself a little bit of coverage at the peak, I would say. So if you are not comfortable with a part of your body, if you don't like your legs, then why are you wearing mini skirts or buying mini skirts? knowing that when you put it on, it's going to give you a little bit of a complex and you don't like it. If you don't like how your back looks and you're not wearing a shapewear to, camouflage that, then why are you buying deep cut dresses that's going to be focused on the back? So, first thing first, easy way to not buy the wrong stuff is to know how comfortable we are with our body, what parts we love about our body, and what parts we don't. The parts we don't, we can camouflage. The parts we love, we will highlight. And that's a simple, easy trick to go through your closet today and say, okay, these things I bought at a time maybe that I did like how my body looked, or I did like when my boobs were sitting up higher, or I did like when I was a couple of pounds smaller. But now I'm not, and I don't know when I'm going to get back there. So these things got to go. Or more importantly, don't buy them. Don't buy the wrong stuff that's going to put you in a situation where you feel as though, oh my goodness, why am I buying these things? Because then when you buy it and you don't like it, then you feel not stylish. And then the vicious cycle begins where you start saying, well, I'm just not into clothes. I'm not stylish. I can't pull these things off. Now, I'm going to give a little caveat there. All of us, unfortunately, all women come with some insecurity of something, a part of their body they don't like. We all do. None of us feels ever that we can show up 100% feeling confident. Some of us do it better in the sense that either we work on the things we don't like to get rid of it, or we are just better at accepting it, right? But wherever you are in that journey of whether you can accept it and just say, you know what, it is what it is. I got the mom pooch. I'm working out. It's not going anywhere, but it is what it is. The caveat to this and not liking your body parts is that you can't run away from clothes because you don't like parts of your body. Like you cannot make the excuse that, oh, when I lose weight, I'm going to start dressing up. Or when I, when this part of my body starts feeling like it's 100%, then I will start. Like that part of it is going to be ridiculous. And we got to be ridiculous. We got to accept when we're being ridiculous with ourselves. So recently, I have realized that I have definitely gained some weight. And I know I'm going to get back to the gym like 5 days a week soon. Soon. And the reason I say soon is because my new job, I'm going to have a gym there and I'm going to utilize the gym inside the building because why not? It's free, it's nice, and I can do it during work days because in the military, we are allowed to PT. We not only allowed, we are encouraged to PT to make sure that we are physically fit. With that said, I will probably not be there for a few weeks at that job. So the next, these weeks leading up to it, I'm just watching what I eat a little more because I'm not working out as much as I should be. And so in that, I've been trying on clothes, and some of the things in my closet definitely are fitting a little snug because I've gained weight. Now, I'm not going to throw out my clothes because I know also that by the end of the summer, I'm going to probably be back to where I need to with the consistent workout schedule that I'm going to put on myself. With that said, as well, I am conscious of the fact that, hey, the things that I don't like about my body, I have to take care of quickly, or else it could quickly unravel for me. I already have the mom pooch that never seems to want to go away, but because of that, I end up gaining more, my stomach area, like this area becomes a little wider. And the pull in is not working. But there's shapewear for that. So for the next few weeks, I'm gonna probably be really using because I don't really use shapewear right now unless I'm going out to wearing a fancy dress. I don't really wear shapewear. But until then, I will probably be pulling, and I just got some new shapewear that I ordered from Amazon today to carry me through for the next month. All of that is saying that the stuff in my closet is fine. I didn't buy the wrong stuff. Life has gotten to me. But if I didn't have a plan for the next month to get back into shape and to get to the level that I want to, then I really would have to consider, do I need to keep all those clothes in my closet because I'm not going to be able to wear them? They will not fit, and I'm not squeezing myself into them. So, with all that said and done, I do have a plan. If you don't have a plan right now, be real with yourself. Be real that, okay, I really don't have a plan right now. There's a lot going on in my life, and I don't have the energy, mental energy yet to kind of figure out what I need to do. So, until then, what you should do is buy the right stuff. You don't want to feel add more problems to your brain by feeling not confident while sitting on with clothes that's just not there for you. So first thing is to look at the things that you like about your body and accentuate that. If you like having your boobs out and you have, buy stuff like that. If you don't, then it doesn't make sense to buy things like that and then look at it and say, oh my God, I'm not going to wear this. Okay. Second thing is to avoid buying the wrong stuff is to really understand the phase you are in your life at this time. Now, if all of us look at our closet, we probably have, for most of us, probably have some clothes that could go back 10, 15 years in there. That was a different phase of your life. None of us should be in the same phase 10, 15 years later or before, right? Like that would be crazy if you're in the same phase at that time. For some of us, it could have been we were in college, um, we were in grad school, we were in our first jobs, first career jobs. That's a different phase than where you are 10, 15 years later. So if you are holding on to that stuff, it's time to release it. If you are still buying stuff for that old phase, it's time to release it. If you are still buying things that are just like not saying, I am a grown woman at this point with a career and kids and homes and, bills, then we need to release it and not buy them because we are in different phases in our lives that we need to really push through and say, okay, this is the phase that I'm in. I'm in my grown up phase. I'm in my power mode phase. I am in my boss mode phase. I am whatever phase that is. If you're in your confused phase, go for it. But that phase requires different type of showing up and clothes that show up to tell people and signal the phase you are in. And because of that, I always get on people who only buy or go out in leggings and a t-shirt or, like workout gear because you can't be in that phase at 45. That your idea of going out to happy hour or to run errands or to the PTA meeting is to show up in Lululemon. Like when you are not going to the gym, especially not coming from the gym, not going to the gym, haven't seen the gym in how long. So think about the phase you are in, and that will help you determine what kind of stuff you need to stop buying and what kind of stuff you do need to start buying. Because when you align your phase and your clothes with your phase, you will appear stylish. You will appear intentional. You would appear like you know what you're doing. So, you know how in the fairy tales we used to read when we were younger, and they always had the very poor peasant who marries the prince and now is rich. And in most of these stories and shows we will see one of the big changes is the dressing. When you are a peasant, you don't have the money to buy the beautiful silk robes and the clothes that have the embellishments on it and the gold trimmings and all of that. And so in movies and in books, you can tell the people who are peasants. Clothes are filthy, dirty, wearing the same thing every day. And then, of course, the royalties wearing gowns and robes and all these immaculate dressings, right? That's us. That's us still. The fairy tale lives on in reality for us. Different phases come with the abilities of different things. When I was in college and I could barely scrape by to get ramen, my clothes reflected that. It was cheap, poorly made, horrible material because that's what I can afford. And now, as I've moved over, I could afford more. I could definitely afford not living in tights and sweats and the same sneakers from however long and Birkenstocks with everything. Not heading on anybody who's wearing any of those. I'm just saying the time and place, and it's the phase of your life. If that's how you're showing up, you are telling people the phase of your life that you are in. And are you sending the right message? Are you sending the message? So my daughter recently um, graduated, and one of the fights I was having with her, she's a teenager, is that what she wanted to wear for graduation. And I just wanted to let her know, like, there's a time and place for everything. She wanted to wear a dress that she had worn at quinceanera. And I'm just like, you're going to a graduation, your graduation at that. You want to show up and present yourself as someone who is, one, deserving of this, but two, that someone has, you've gone to another level. You're dressing yourself and you're coming to this event to dress importantly because it's an important event, and you want people to see you as an important person. And so for me, it's important that when people come to certain events, or whatever is happening, they come dressed for that event to some degree. And so even when I'm in the supermarket and I see people running around in tights and stuff like that, I'm just like, well, maybe they just came from the gym. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. But for the most part, we know they didn't. That was the look for the day, right? The tights, the t-shirt, the I don't care how I show up. Um, and it just looks haggard. And I will bet $1,000 if I were to go to some of these women's closet, they have the right pieces there. They may not have all the right pieces, but I believe that for most of them, they have the right pieces that can put together an outfit that doesn't take a lot of time, energy, focus, any of those things, and be able to present themselves. So I say this again: it's not that you're not stylish. You may have the wrong pieces. You may be buying the wrong pieces, and if you continue to stock the the fridge or stock the closet with the Lululemon pants, then whenever you're going out, that is going to be the easy grab. And I always say, for Lululemon tights, you still got to put your feet into both tights. And if you have to pull out a pair of trousers or pants, or you're still putting your feet into two legs. So there's no difference. There literally is no big difference in getting dressed with you wearing tights and a t-shirt and me wearing a pair of trousers and a blouse. Like, the time difference is zilch. It is absolutely zero. It is just that I show up to a place that tells the world that I care about my presentation. I care about the event. I care to have you see me in a certain light. And you're showing up, and I'm seeing you in that light. And is it always a good light, that, the judgment? Probably not. But it tells me a lot. It tells me a lot. And I'm not talking about someone who, this is a one off, right? Look, for me, this was a one off. I ran to the supermarket just now and I needed to get dressed very quickly. And this is what I wore because I didn't have time. But it's still, at least it's a dress, right undergarments. I have on some little flats that I picked up recently at H&M, and I'm still able to show a way that says she's presentable. Okay. it takes the same amount of time that you would have done it had you been just wearing pair of tights, sweats, or and a shirt. So it's not about being stylish. I think the foundational pieces need to be there first. Yes, some of us may struggle to match and be creative, but that none of us struggle to be able to pull a black pair of jeans and a white top. Like that's not you can't be on a struggle bus for that one, right? If you are someone who struggle on style, having some go-to uniform pieces is a really, really good way of being able to fall into a pattern and so that it makes it easier for you. But for most of us, we can get together, we can put together 4 to 5 outfits that will make us look amazing, make us feel confident, and then we're still showing up looking stylish and looking serious. I like the word unserious. I've been trying to use that a lot because I do think it's a good adjective to describe a lot of people who, the things that they do. And fashion for me is one of those things where I'm like, you're unserious. You're just unserious. You're waiting to lose weight. You're waiting for this. You're waiting for that. Those are just excuses, as I've talked about before. And if you haven't seen my latest video on my channel, I talked about a formula when I go thrifting that allows me to always be able to pull expensive looking pieces very quickly, by the way. And so the Flair formula, as I've named it, talks about the easy way that you can walk into a thrift store or any place to at that manner and figure out what is worth the time and money, and that whether you should pick it up. So hopefully you can check out that video. When you have a chance, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can know when I go live. You can get notified when I go live and also when I drop my new videos. But that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Stop worth keeping or is worth buying to put in my closet and start wearing those clothes. The closet really is just holding things that every day is an opportunity to show up and just pay in all my glory. Whatever you says, that's individual to you, but let that style be intentional and let it intentionally give a good representation of who you are versus a representation of what people see sometimes as someone who doesn't care, who, just doesn't look like they ever have time to put something together. Until the next time, as I say always, stay luxe. Bye.